Ngozi's suffering was a relentless cycle of pain and neglect. Orphaned as a toddler, she grew up under the harsh rule of her stepmother Stella, who treated her as nothing more than a servant. Get ready for an exciting journey filled with engaging stories, fun adventures, and moments that will inspire and entertain you. Your support means the world to us, so don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends and loved ones as we embark on this amazing journey together. In the bustling city of Lagos, where towering skyscrapers loomed over narrow streets and the hum of car horns filled the air, a girl named Ngozi lived in the shadow of hardship. Ngozi was born under the light of a full moon. Her first cry was also her mother's last. Ngozi's mother passed away during childbirth, leaving her with nothing but the memory of a kind, smiling face told to her in bedtime stories by her grieving father. Her father, a struggling mechanic, raised Ngozi alone for years, pouring his love and energy into giving her a good life. But life was not kind to widowers, and he soon remarried, believing his new wife, Stella, would help him care for Ngozi. At just 15, she had endured more than most people could imagine. Stella came with her own daughter, Amaka, a girl who wore designer clothes and carried the latest gadgets but had a heart as cold as steel. Ngozi's life was a daily grind. Each morning, she woke up before dawn in their cramped one-room apartment in Ajigonle. While Amaka slept in her comfortable corner bed, Ngozi scrubbed the floors, fetched water, and prepared breakfast. Stella always found an excuse to criticize her. Lazy girl. If you don't hurry, you'll be late for school, if you even deserve to go. Stella would sneer. Ngozi longed for a better life. She loved school and dreamed of becoming a journalist, but her stepmother only sent her to school when there was nothing left to do at home. Even then, Ngozi would often arrive late, earning scoldings from her teachers. One evening, as Ngozi returned home from school, she overheard Stella and Amaka whispering. "Ngozi doesn't deserve to live here anymore," Stella said. "She's just a burden." Panic gripped Ngozi. She knew she had to act quickly. Clutching her only treasure, a worn notebook where she wrote her dreams and stories, she decided to leave. But where could she go in a city so big and unforgiving? Stella threw Ngozi out of the house, and when her husband confronted her, she told him to choose between her or Ngozi, knowing she provides for the home and he wouldn't dare to choose Ngozi over her. The next day, Ngozi found herself wandering the crowded streets of Lagos at night. The neon lights of shops flickered, and the smell of roasted corn mixed with the exhaust fumes of downfall buses. She was terrified but determined. She spent the night under a bridge, surrounded by different kinds of people who had also been abandoned by their families. A boy named Depo, no older than 16, noticed her crying. "New here?" he asked. Ngozi nodded. "I have nowhere to go," she whispered. Depo handed her a small loaf of bread. "Stick with me. I know how to survive out here." Over the next few days, Ngozi learned the harsh realities of street life. She helped Depo and his friends sell sachets of pure water and clean windshields at traffic stops. Though the work was hard, Ngozi remained hopeful. She often wrote stories in her notebook, imagining a future where she could escape this life. One afternoon, while selling water near a media house in Victoria Island, Ngozi saw a woman step out of a sleek car. The woman was dressed in a sharp suit and had an air of confidence. Ngozi recognized her, Mrs. Ifeoma, a famous journalist she admired. Summoning all her courage, Ngozi ran up to her. "Madam, please, I want to be like you." she blurted out, holding up her notebook. Mrs. Ifeoma looked at her, surprised but intrigued. "What's your name, and why do you want to be a journalist?" Ngozi told her story, the loss of her mother, the cruelty of her stepfamily, and her dream to give a voice to those who couldn't speak for themselves. Mrs. Ifeoma saw the fire in Ngozi's eyes. "Come with me," she said. Mrs. Ifeoma took Ngozi under her wing. She enrolled her in a youth program that helps street kids get back into school. She also gave Ngozi a chance to intern at her media house, where Ngozi's passion for storytelling flourished. Ngozi worked tirelessly, balancing her studies with her internship. She wrote articles about life on the streets, the struggles of children like her, and the need for change in society. Her work caught the attention of major publications, and soon, her name became known across Lagos. Years later, Ngozi became a celebrated journalist. She returned to Ajigono to confront her past. Stella and Amaka, who had fallen on hard times, living from hand to mouth, begged for forgiveness. Ngozi looked at them, her heart heavy but resolute. "I forgive you, but I won't forget what you taught me, the value of strength and perseverance." Ngozi started a foundation for underprivileged children, providing them with education and opportunities. Her story became an inspiration, showing that even in the harshest cities, hope could bloom like a rose in concrete.